at this point, I felt the anxiety going out of me like this, and then I had nothing. And I heard a voice say to me, "Maëva, your father prayed for you now." And so I sent a message to my father and I asked him, "Dad, did you pray for me now?" And he said, "Yes." My name is Maëva, I'm 24. When I was 15, I had a lot of fears and anxiety. And it started one day, I woke up and I felt like something in me was different than the day before, but I didn't know what. And then it became worse and worse and worse, and I was not able to go to the school anymore or even to take the bus to go to the school. And for 1 year, I was at home. I did the homeschooling, and I lost all my friends because of this anxiety I had. And then I met a psychologist who said to me, "Maëva, people like you need to be hospitalized, otherwise they spend the rest of their life in their room." And I was so afraid, and so I had no solutions. So I went in a mental hospital for 2 years. And the first year was good because I met other young people who were like me, and they had the same anxiety, the same fears, and I was like, oh, I'm not alone in this case. And the second year was horrible because I had so much fears, and it was worse than before. I was afraid of being sick, of meet new people, eating with people, like sleep in another house, and I was afraid of everything. And and one night we were watching a movie with the others, and I could felt the anxiety in my stomach, and it was so hard for me. And I called my mother and we spent 1 hour on the phone, but nothing changed. And I was waiting to talk to a nurse or even to take medicine, even if I was against this. But I wanted something to stop it, like it was really too much for me. And I was waiting to talk to a nurse, and then I felt the anxiety going out of my body like this. And then I heard a voice say to me, "Maëva, your father just prayed for you now." And so I sent a message to my father and I asked him, "Dad, did you pray for me now?" And he said, "Yes, why?" And for me I was like, okay, because I heard about Jesus when I was young, but for me, God was someone far away from me, and yeah. But this time I was like, okay, maybe God cares about me actually. And so I started to read the Bible and I understood who Jesus is and what he did for me. And one day I was alone in my room and I started to speak to Jesus and I asked him to set me free from all the fears I had. And also I repented from all my sins, because when I wrote the Bible, I realized that, okay, I'm a sinner. That's why I feel God far away from me. And after a few weeks, I woke up in this mental hospital and I realized like, oh, I feel good. And it was something new for me because I was used to feel bad every time. And but I realized that since I prayed to God, things were changing. And I was like, whoa, God is doing something. And after a few weeks after I left this mental hospital, and I could continue my studies like nothing happened before. It was like I never had anxiety or fears and after that I get baptized, I received the Holy Spirit, and everything changed. I was completely free from all my fears, all my anxiety, all the nightmares I had also. And yeah, I started to travel and to do things I was afraid to do before, and it was so different because now all the things I do and I love, it's the things I was afraid to do before, like traveling, meet new people, sharing my testimony in front of people. And for 3 years I was traveling with other young Christian people in France, and we were sharing our testimony in front of different churches. And the first time I shared my testimony, it was in front of 2,000 people. And when I was sharing my testimony, I was like, okay, before I was afraid just to be around with people, and now I could share my testimony and speak in front of people. And I was like, wow, but God, you did a so big thing in my life. I was like, oh. And it's so interesting to see how God changed the situation, because now when I tell my testimony, I know it's my story, but it's like speaking about someone else. And yeah, I did a 3-month school with the Last Reformation, and we traveled a lot in different countries, and during these 3 months I met a girl who has the same fears and anxiety as I had before. And we could share together, and we could pray for her also, and she get delivered from many fears and stuff. And it was so beautiful to see how God changed the situation and how now He can use me, because before I was in this situation, and now I can help and pray for people who are in this case too now. And